Michael Keaton had two very specific conditions for returning to one of his most iconic roles, and it sounds like Tim Burton's Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is going to be all the better for it. With a title like Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, you might expect there to be twice as much screen time for the ghost with the most. It might surprise you to know that Michael Keaton's freelance bio-exorcist was only in a paltry 17 minutes of the original film. That's right, it takes a while for the titular ghost to properly show up in Tim Burton's classic 1988 supernatural comedy. Even after that, he's not shown on screen quite as much as you might remember. In fact, Beetlejuice is mostly irrelevant to the plot, much of which centers around the lovable, recently deceased Maitlands trying and failing to scare the off-putting, still-breathing Dietzes from their home. It's only in the third act that Beetlejuice fully evolves into the film's antagonist, giving the two families a common enemy to unite against.
You bunch of losers! You're working with a professional here!
Nearly 40 years later, you might think that Burton's sequel Beetlejuice Beetlejuice would change things, between Keaton developing into an even bigger star in the intervening decades and Beetlejuice himself becoming a truly iconic character. According to Keaton, however, you'd be wrong. Not only that, the Oscar-nominated Batman and Birdman actor has said that the first of his two conditions for returning for the film was that Beetlejuice could only be used as much as felt necessary for the story at hand. Keaton explained to GQ, "The idea was, no, you can't load it up with Beetlejuice, that'll kill it." He added that, the way he sees it, the mischievous ghoul drives the overarching narrative even less in Beetlejuice Beetlejuice than he did in the first movie, yet remains an essential piece of the puzzle. As Keaton put it, he's more part of the storyline in this one as opposed to the first one, which is a case of this thing comes in and drives the movie a little bit.
I'm gonna make you so happy.
But Keaton wanted more than just a promise that Beetlejuice wouldn't appear in every scene. It was also important to the beloved actor that Burton return to the style and substance that defined his early career. For most of the last 20 years, Burton has, arguably to his detriment, relied on CGI instead of the practical effects that epitomized the look of a Burton film in the 80s and 90s. Back when he was one of Hollywood's most visually innovative artists, his films were also tactile in a way that allowed their goth, gross-out elements to really sing, so much so that they could arguably overcome a poor script on their own. Hell, if Burton's Planet of the Apes was only the scenes featuring Rick Baker's incredible practical makeup, it would probably be a pretty terrific sci-fi social satire. As Burton's pictures became increasingly CGI-heavy though, audiences haven't been as enthused. This is why Keaton's second condition was that Beetlejuice Beetlejuice had to be as handmade as feasible, lest the franchise's deliciously disgusting vision of the afterlife and the neither world feel watered down or overly polished. Keaton explained, "When I say handmade, it's literally handmade." But while he admitted that's really hard to do in 2024, he wouldn't have signed on if Burton hadn't agreed with him, in his own words. For the most part, with CGI, I think a lot of audiences subconsciously feel farther away from what's actually going on the screen or in the story. It'll work, they'll accept it, but I think for a lot of movies, it's not quite as enjoyable. To Keaton and Burton's credit, the Beetlejuice Beetlejuice footage unveiled so far has that throwback, tangible feeling, and its setting is all the better looking for it. We'll see how the rest of the film stacks up when it opens in theaters on September 6th, 2024.